Hey guys, welcome to my review of Batman issue number 11. Now, in the last issue of Batman, hopefully you guys have been picking up each and every single Batman comic book because it's been such a great run right now. The story's amazing. And in the last issue, it was revealed who was basically the leader of the Court of Owls. And I will be mentioning who it is in this comic book because I can't really review this comic without mentioning this character. So if you guys have not read issue number 10 yet, please go pick up the issue because I will be spoiling who it is. But hopefully you guys already know who it is. But yeah, in the last issue of Batman, we found out who the leader of the Court of Owls was. And basically it was actually Bruce's long-lost brother that was supposedly, presumably, actually dead because he was given birth prematurely and he was sort of dysfunctional. He was never brought up in the whole entire Wayne family, manner and whatever. He was actually, raised in a different place, sort of like a child care place. And basically we got his backstory and everything else, right there. And then he confronts Batman and they fight. And basically he's actually Owlman. I never thought of that until someone actually mentioned it to me. This whole entire Court of Owls thing. And Thomas Wayne Jr., who is, Bruce's long-lost brother, is actually the guy who's been, behind this the whole entire time. And the Court of Owls has Owlman. And I'm like, wait, Owlman was actually the alternate universe of Batman, the bad version of him. And, it's interesting to have him actually in this universe, so that's pretty cool there. I actually thought that was pretty interesting. So now we actually have the fight between these two. Now, throughout this issue, they fight it out, but basically what Thomas Wayne Jr. does, or I'm just going to call him Owlman, he basically takes Batman around Gotham City. Basically a tour of Gotham City, telling him that he doesn't know Gotham, fully. He's been trying to protect Gotham, but all this time, Thomas or Owlman has been watching him, looking over the city and watching how Batman has been, running it the whole entire time. And also, we learn about his hatred towards Bruce and why he wants to kill him in a way. Now, it never started off as hatred. Thomas always thought that Bruce was going to save him. He knew Bruce was his brother. And he thought that, after the whole entire child care center or whatever place fell down, that Bruce was going to come and save him. That, his brother loves him. His brother knows that he's alive, that he will protect him no matter what. But he slowly learned that Bruce wasn't coming. His older brother was never going to be there for him. And he saw him take over Gotham City, trying to protect it. And he thought that, Bruce only cares about Gotham. He doesn't care about his brother, leaving me here to die and whatever. He doesn't care about me. And he slowly, that love started turning to hatred. And that's how this all began. Now, I don't want to, basically talk more about how this is all going to end. But yeah, and I just don't want to spoil how the ending is because basically it is a great ending to this whole entire storyline. It is so satisfying. I enjoyed this epic finale of the Court of Owls right here. It says right here on the comic book cover. It stays true to that title that says on the cover. I mean, seriously, it is an epic finale, and I just generally loved it. I don't want to talk more about it, but there's going to be a little bit more, in-depth descriptions of this issue. For one thing is that basically in the end of this issue, after this whole entire event, I'm just going to leave you to ponder whether or not Owlman survives this whole entire event or dies, because we know that Batman can't literally die in his own comic book series. I mean, he can, but if they canceled it right now at issue number 11, then that will be a problem because basically this whole entire series would be canceled and there will be no more Batman, or Dick Grayson would take over again. But of course we know Batman can't die just yet. He's too tough to die, or too stubborn to die. But yeah, after this whole entire event, I love how Scott Snyder basically makes you ponder on the fact whether or not Thomas Wayne Jr. was actually Batman's brother. Now, in the last issue, like I said, they already stated that he was his brother. But near the end of this issue, while Bruce ponders about this whole entire event, or, basically he's all thinking about what happened, generally in this whole entire big event that's been going on, the Court of Owls, he's just pondering on all of this after the whole event has ended. He wants to look back on it and see what it has taught him and what he has learned. And he's learned that maybe Thomas Wayne Jr. wasn't actually his brother. That maybe he was brought up to think that he was Bruce Wayne's brother, because Bruce does know that he does have a brother, but he knew that he never survived or lasted one night after birth. But yeah, that's basically generally what happens, and it makes you ponder and question, who is Thomas Wayne Jr.? Is this person that was revealed in this whole entire series actually Bruce's brother? And I love how Scott Snyder throws that punch at you. He wasn't afraid to step through that, fine line, He wasn't just going to throw you, okay, this is Thomas Wayne Jr., this is his character, that's it. I'm not going to build up on anything else, but I love how he actually makes you question and makes you wonder about this character. There's like so much more mystery to this character itself. And I just love that. That was just a really, really great way to end this comic book. And also the matter of fact that I want to mention another thing is that this comic book has taught us through this whole entire event, this whole entire 11th issue event, that it has taught us that Bruce Wayne or Batman is human. He is not God. I know there's some people out there that worship Batman so much, and I do love Batman. I think he's great, but I know he's human. He is not God. He cannot survive every single thing he has encountered. And this whole entire event has taught Bruce himself. He actually does learn something from it. He's not stubborn to admit that he hasn't, failed, or he hasn't learned anything from this whole entire, event. It's great how he actually admits that. And he says that I have learned that basically, I thought this city was mine. I thought I knew this whole entire city by myself because I've been, working around here for so long, but the Court of Owls has taught me that I don't literally know all about Gotham City. And Gotham City isn't about Batman. It isn't about, the Court of Owls. Who owns it? It's all about us. And I like how Scott Snyder did that. He didn't want Gotham City to resemble Batman, because whenever you think of Gotham City, you think of that's Batman. And in this issue, or this whole entire series, is talked about that Court of Owls used to own Gotham City. But now Batman, or Bruce, has realized that it's not about Batman. It's not about the Court of Owls. It's about the people who live in Gotham City. The people who live there. They make Gotham City who it is, or what it is. Its own character, like Commissioner Gordon. He lives in Gotham City. He runs the place as commissioner. And the people who's been there, like Nightwing, Batgirl, all these other characters have taken care of Gotham and, made it a place to stay. Even though it's not the best place, it's still a great place to be. But I love how Scott Snyder did that, and I really, really love how he's been writing Batman right now, and I'm happy that he's still continuing, and hopefully he doesn't stop for a while now. But also, I would actually like to mention one thing to people who hate Robin out there. I know there's some Robin haters out there, but Bruce mentioned something else in this issue. When he talks to Dick Grayson to reminisce about the events that has happened, he actually tells Dick about, his, future, that he was supposed to be chosen to be a Talon member. But, he says that, I didn't save you. Like, how Bruce saved Robin from being a Talon member, or basically saved him from being so dark because his parents, died. Just like Bruce. Bruce didn't save Dick Grayson. Bruce said, Dick, you saved me from the darkness. You saved me from the edge, And that's the point of a Robin. That is the point of Dick Grayson. He is supposed to make Batman lighthearted. Yes, that's, sort of a negative thing, but Batman sort of is too dark at times, and sometimes he could be pushed over to the edge where he would want to kill someone. So Robin is there to actually keep his innocence. It's not for, Robin to be so campy and happy. It's to make Batman more, lighthearted, and to keep his innocence at the same time, from stopping him from being pushed to the edge and whatever. That is the whole point of Robin, and I love how Scott Snyder remembers that, Dick Grayson is the person that supported Batman. All the Robins has supported Batman throughout the ages, from stopping him from, going over the edge, killing a villain, and stopping him from, passing that fine line that he has made in the, in the sand, that he cannot cross, never to kill, never to, push too hard. And that's what I like about it. That's something I really generally liked about this whole entire issue, was that one moment he talks to Dick Grayson about that. And Dick, he's very happy about what Bruce says. And if you think Bruce doesn't care or Bruce is just too cold-hearted to admit things, well, he admits a lot of things in this issue, and that's great. It just, like I said, it brings out the human side of Batman, and that's generally what Batman's all about. He's supposed to prove that we humans, we can be great, but at the same time, with our great power, we still have to hold the humanity inside of us, you know? And that's something that's generally what I find in Batman. He's a great hero. He can do anything, but at the same time, he holds the humanity of all heroes. Or other, human heroes out there. They hold the humanity of each other. Like, Wonder Woman has super strength, and, she's super strong, and whatever, and Superman's like Kryptonian, alien with all these powers and whatever. But Batman, he's a normal human being, and he can still do some good out there in the world. But yeah, enough about my ranting on about Batman. I just love this issue. I would rate this a 5 out of 5. It's just so awesome and great, and I highly suggest you guys pick this issue up and just read the finale of the Court of Owls events. And I cannot wait for issue number 12 to come out, or issue number 13, because the Joker is returning. And I can't wait for Scott Snyder's take on the Joker right now. I am just so excited for that. Now, there is actually a variant cover of issue number 11 with Owlman actually on the cover, which I really did want, but my comic book shop only had 2 variants of that, only 2 copies, so I lucked out, so I couldn't I couldn't get it, so I was so upset. But anyways, this was still a great cover. But yes, enough about my ranting. I highly suggest you guys pick this issue up. I loved it. I love Batman. I love Scott Snyder, and that's generally what I'm here to talk to you about. But yes, so hopefully you guys found this review interesting or helpful or wonderful or great. Hope you liked it. I know it's a bit long, but yes. So hopefully you guys like this review, and I'll talk to you guys later. So see you guys.